Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, and out on another walk. Today I'm very close to Firle in East Sussex, and I'm starting my little walk here by a very strange monument. I didn't know it was here. I was actually here to meet a gentleman who's very kindly given me a very lovely pair of walking boots, which I haven't put on for this walk, and the reason is that where I parked my van, there sounded like a very angry dog on the other side of the hedge, and I didn't want to disturb the household by hanging about, so I'm afraid I've just got my ordinary old walking boots on, but I will be trying these new ones in a video soon. Anyway, that's a by the by. Thank you to Jeffrey for the wonderful boots. You'll see them soon. This is a medieval wayside cross, and I only happened to notice it because it was on the OS maps marked as cross, and I thought, what is it? Why is it here? So I looked it up, and it's a medieval market cross, that the sort that pilgrims would have seen. So all we've got now is the base of the thing. There would have been a sort of crucifix cross on the top, and all I can think of is that pilgrims were making their way along, although it's not it's the A27 now, but it would have been just back roads and little stone routes back in the day, and they would have passed this to know that they're on the right route, I assume, towards Lewes, where the abbey was down there. That's or the priory rather, Lewes Priory. That's the only reason I can think it's here. Anyway, I'm going to start my walk here, and I'm going to try and walk, hopefully, up towards Firle, the village of Firle, and to the church. That's the plan anyway, so let's see how far we get. Well, the first thing I had to do is get over the busy A27, and you wouldn't think that there was a lockdown on at the moment, the amount of traffic that's on the roads. Anyway, I'd managed to get over there, and the footpath, fortunately, is along this road that goes into Firle itself, the village of Firle, that sits at the foot of the north face of the South Downs, just to the east of Lewes, the county town of East Sussex. So I'm just going to walk up there and get a breath of fresh air and get my exercise in and try and show you some of the sights at the same time. But I was very intrigued by that wonderful medieval market cross. Just paused on my walk off the road here just to have a quick look, because behind me there is Mount Caban, which is again part of the South Downs, and it's right next to Lewes. It's lovely. I have actually walked up there before now, so I'll leave a link actually to a very windy walk that my son Billy and I did in walking up Mount Caban a couple of years ago now. It must have been, struggling up to the top in huge winds, but it was well worth it, a beautiful walk. So this walk, I think, is just really along this wonderful tarmac path up towards the Firle estate, and I've just spotted what looks like either an old railway carriage or a shepherd's hut. It's interesting to know what goes on the Firle estate these days. I don't know this area at all well. I've just come across this rather delightful little pond here, but it's not so much the pond that I was fascinated by. It was these amazing willows. I love the willows. There they are, immersed deep in the pond. The willows do like to be by water, and these are actually right in the water. the roots probably sucking up the the juice. But they're huge, absolutely extensive things, beautiful shapes in the winter, and then you can imagine in the summer when they're in leaf, they must spew everywhere. I don't know what type of willow, whether they're weeping willows. I don't think they are. I think they're a different type of willow. There are lots of different types. I need to do some more willow identification, I think. Do you like gnomes? You know, garden gnomes. I've just spotted a house. Oh, that took me by surprise. Here we are in the middle of the countryside. Just spotted a house in which the garden was festooned with gnomes. Absolutely brilliant. I've never seen so many gnomes in one place. And I said to the owner, who was in the garden tending, I said, do you mind if I take a picture? He said, no, carry on. And a lovely, I suppose it was like a sheepdog really, there, who was initially barking at me, but eventually I put my hand out and he seemed quite happy. So you never quite know what you're going to find when you go for a walk in the country. Gnomes. Lovely. Come off the tarmac path and I've taken a trip across this field, which is clearly marked by these special footpath boards here, as you can see, with the yellow arrows, and even a map to show you where you are so you don't get lost. In front of me I have Firle Place, which is a big old Georgian manor. Very lovely looking building, I have to say. And then there's some sheep that no doubt I may end up wandering through. So that's all very nice. And I can see the church, which is my destination. Such a big field. I think it's great that there are these markers so you know where you are on the path, because it's so easy sometimes to wander off and then completely get lost. So it's good for the estate and it's good for the walker. A funny thing. Do you know, I thought I'd lost the signs then for a moment. You wander across, if you don't keep them up, you start to get a little bit confused. So the signs take me back that way. But look at this rather beautiful and remarkable tree, hollowed out. I don't know what it is. It's an ash. I just looked up, seen the it's still alive as well. It is an ash tree. Good heavens. I've never seen an ash tree like this, hollowed out with a honeycomb of different holes inside where creatures have burrowed in and made it. It is very beautiful actually. But I can tell it's ash from the buds, and of course the way that the boughs and the twigs do a U-shape at the end. Fascinating. made it to the church. So there's a couple of signs around Firle at the moment saying please organise your walks so that you avoid the middle of the village, and I can completely understand why that would be, but I've avoided as much of the village as I can. I just want to get up to the church. Now there's a walk I did with somebody a while back about Firle. I'll link to those so you can see more of Firle. I don't want to intrude at the moment if they're trying to keep the place devoid of people, but it's just nice to have got to the church, which I think is St. Peter's if my memory serves me. I think that's what it is. If I've got that wrong, I'll shove it on the screen. But anyway, here it is. Feels good to have arrived. It is a very lovely church, I have to say. When COVID is finally over and it's all done and dusted and we can actually get out a little bit more and go and explore places, and they open up churches as well, I will be returning to many of these places that I can only walk past. The last year or so has been fairly difficult to try and do anything about the churches because a lot of the history, of course, is inside and it's just been hopeless. But this is a particularly beautiful and historic church, and I'd love to learn more about it. But there we are. That's my walk done and dusted from the medieval the medieval Waycross. Now taken a route to another religious site here at, I think, St. Peter's in Firle, at the foot of Firle Beacon on the South Downs. I hope you've enjoyed this walk. Don't forget to follow, like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you have enjoyed it. Become a patron, support what I do, that would be very handy. And I'll continue to make these videos and try and keep you entertained as we go through lockdown, or indeed if you're watching this many years after lockdown, it's a sort of historic of what it was like during that period. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Till then, bye bye.